In 2020, iLLeY won the Call of Duty World Championship at just 18 years of age. 4 years later, he was dropped from his team with no explanation. So why did he get cut, given that he was the team's best player? To answer this, we need to go back to where it all started.
I've been playing COD since I was like 8-7 years old. In MW2, like I started like playing GBs.
Yeah.
I started off 0-32. And then like that's when I got my first win.
But it wasn't just video games that he played.
I used to play professional like competitive chess.
Hey guys, interview here, and I get a sick kid. And
I don't know if he's a national Canadian champion, but he was actually like he was thinking about playing chess like on a professional level when he was a kid.
I look at Call of Duty like different from like others. I look into like really deep and like really analyze it and like use some of like things I do in chess to just like stay on my toes and like stay ahead and like adapt.
This mix of skill sets resulted in significant success for iLLeY in online tournaments.
Yo, someone all-shot that, please.
Third-party websites such as UMG and Checkmate Gaming frequently hosted tourneys distinct from the main pro circuit, and iLLeY won several of them.
I made over like 100k, like off like just like SD streaming.
In 2016, iLLeY swiftly established himself as one of the most well-known players in the S&D scene.
I ended up playing with Nick Merckx, and when he was playing Black Ops 3 with the squad, and that's when like a lot of people like seen like my true potential and how good I actually was, and that's when I started building a name for myself, and people started tuning in. Walking with Poon, baby!
God, what the fuck?
Walking with Poon, baby!
Unfortunately, iLLeY's career did not take off as he'd hoped. While online tournaments had no age restrictions, official pro tournaments on LAN were modified to 18 and up, preventing iLLeY from competing for another 4 years.
We know like since like BO3 that we were able to compete at the top level, but we were just held back from like the age rule.
However, iLLeY was unfazed by this, and he continued to grind until his moment arrived. His uncommon high sensitivity style led some of his competitors to believe that he was cheating.
How is that not keyboarding? Are you kidding me right now? Look at this. iLLeY keyboards. iLLeY keyboards.
I don't know. If you're cheating, you better cheat all these motherfuckers. So I've been getting cheated on every day.
Dude, I literally don't keyboard. That's so bad.
I was getting accused of keyboarding like every other day. Like every day I was getting accused of keyboarding. Like there's like hilarious clips of me like killer reacting to me.
Look at this. Look at this.
He was eventually signed by iUnited in 2018 to play for their cadets team, and found much success alongside fellow future world champions Simp and Celium.
Crim versus iLLeY. iLLeY's still challenging, and who's going to win this one? This is such a close fought battle, and iLLeY.
The confidence you have to have in a 1v1 against Crim 6
versus Crim.
However, Simp and Celium became qualified to play professionally a year later. iLLeY was forced to watch from the sidelines as Celium impressed on FaZe Clan, and Simp helped iUnited to a world championship victory. This undoubtedly fueled his desire to prove to the community that he was on par with those former teammates as predicted a few years ago. But with competitive transitioning to a franchise structure, iLLeY could only hope that a franchise would grant him a contract.
The other pros were just skeptical of me because they're like, oh, he's never played Variant before.
Following the success of Simp in the previous year, iLLeY was considered on par as the very next superstar of the league.
iLLeY is sort of like your Simp this year, like the young guy just turning 18 that has a chance to really be one of the best players.
Ultimately, iLLeY chose to join fellow unproven rookie Shotzi on Dallas Empire after receiving an offer from current member Hook.
I've been waiting like so many years to be able to compete and finally be like a pro. You have the age limit, and it feels fantastic to finally be a pro.
Callisto and Crim6 were also added to the team, providing iLLeY with valuable experience to help him through his rookie season.
To have experienced players behind us and with us is very, very, very helpful just to teach us a lot of things.
However, life as a pro player was far from easy early on. During the kickoff tournament, iLLeY experienced firsthand how difficult the job can be. T2P, Scump and Formal would talk and trash to the entire team after taking them down. A few weeks later in the London Home Series final, the Huntsman defeated Empire once more. To lose his first ever professional final was painful, but it didn't take iLLeY long to taste victory.
Honestly, I'm just progressing and it's getting better. Every event getting experience.
At the Los Angeles Home Series, Empire took down the Minnesota Rocker to claim their first tournament of the season. But after this victory, he would have to go back to the space where he established his reputation, his bedroom, because the pandemic struck and all tournaments were to be held virtually. Nonetheless, iLLeY prospered throughout this era of online COD, with Empire winning 2 more tournaments.
Or you are in this hill. The smokes are there. iLLeY from the flank there was able to find the first.
Oh, iLLeY finds 2, 3 for iLLeY. He could find a 4th if he can get that mag back into the MP5. iLLeY, you are a savage. You are.
This set them up perfectly for the World Championship, where they made it all the way to the Grand Final. Empire versus Atlanta FaZe. The FaZe roster featuring players that iLLeY was all too familiar with. Simp and Celium, his former teammates on the E-United Cadets. But it was in map 2 where iLLeY drew on his experience of being a search and destroy tournament specialist.
Well, he's got the shot as well. Simp gets caught. Well, you're giving somebody a haircut as well, but the spot, the angle from iLLeY.
Bring it all out, Maven. It's the last series, baby.
A sniper angle he'd saved all season long for the ideal opportunity helped Empire win this round on Gunrunner Search and Destroy and the map. In the end, it was Empire who emerged victorious as world champions. From making a name for himself in his bedroom to now taking home the top honor in the same venue, iLLeY's career had come full circle.
Since I was a little kid, since COD 4, I've been playing since I was COD 4, since I was 7 years old. I had no clue, nor my family had no clue that I could be winning $1.5 million just sitting in my bedroom. That's just crazy to me.
I've been playing Call of Duty my whole entire life, so I was basically just working and preparing myself my whole life to be able to compete and get this ring. So this ring means everything to me. It's priceless.
And just hours later, he was back to grinding.
They just FaceTimed me, we chilled for a bit, and then I just ended up literally streaming S&D Chows later that night with Brandon.
It's like, yo, we just won 200K. Yo, Charles, S&D.
From this point on in iLLeY's career, things could surely only get better. However, he and the team had to overcome a major setback shortly after winning. Professional Call of Duty reverted from 5 versus 5 back to 4 versus 4, which required the removal of one member from the team.
Yeah, it's devastating. It's truly devastating because, one of us is going to get left out, and so
nobody on this team deserves to be dropped. We all worked so hard this year. We all put in equal contributions all year round.
Ultimately, Clayster was dropped, and iLLeY would be able to continue growing on the Empire. Despite the change in dynamics, Empire did briefly continue their success from MW19, earning a spot in the Grand Final of the season's first major. Standing in their way was FaZe once again raging for retribution.
12-3 as Simp. Well, maybe a little vengeance for the loss at the World Championship last year. Some extra love onto the members as Krim is getting swarmed, hunted, and he will drop FaZe. They dominate the search and destroys.
FaZe successfully scored revenge as they looked to be even stronger with the addition of Arcetes. But Empire continued to decline. Hook became the second player to be dropped from the team following their World Championship triumph. The team used substitute Fellow as a stopgap before landing on Vivid for the rest of the season. These changes to the roster, though, appeared to unnerve iLLeY, who did receive criticism for his play all year long.
But we need to see Krim and Ender start matching the likes of the top teams, right?
With 0 major tournament victories that year, iLLeY had one last chance to prove himself at the World Championship. In a losers final match against Ultra, his moment arrived in map 4.
Krim's got important gunfights. He's going to lose it. Shotzzy now inside the hill. He's surrounded. Come out with their hands up. iLLeY 5-2. Shotzzy gets the next one. And it's iLLeY versus Cammy inside of the hill trying to buy his teammates time. And it's a hero-on-hero fight, and iLLeY wins it. And now, we got a game 5.
But in the following map, iLLeY fails to register a single kill, as Empire exited in 3rd place. From winning a world championship to going winless the following year was gut-wrenching, but iLLeY was undeterred and ready to fix his mistakes for the following season.
Some of the things I learned last year, I would have not learned if I didn't go through that,
True.
There are a lot of things I learned last year.
Going to next year, I felt like I learned a lot and I'm ready. I'm coming out with the fire and plan on just going hard every single day.
But there was going to be another big-time occurrence in the landscape before that time came. Dallas Empire was officially dissolved as parent organisation Envy merged with Optic Gaming. With 8 players now forced to become 4, iLLeY's CDL career was in peril. But in the end, iLLeY was chosen by Optic to be the brains behind the team, calling the shots and leading the roster.
One of the biggest positives, I think the S&D for Optic would improve tenfold with this roster. Just bringing in Ender,
The community, however, was wary of this move, with iLLeY having a lot to prove that this decision was correct. But Optic didn't have the best of starts, losing 2 crushing round 11s which infuriated iLLeY. However, they were able to bounce back just as Major 1 was about to unfold. In the winners' final against London, iLLeY silenced the haters on map 2 with an incredible 1v3 clutch.
Playing the trade effectively, but he's able to take down one.
Go into library. He had no idea that he's here. Afro picking up the fuse. That's going to be nearly the first. Pulls out the pistol and gets it done. Afro on the fuse, but it doesn't matter.
But the outrageous plays did not end there.
Teammate takes him down. iLLeY though trying to make up for it. With the pistol.
iLLeY arguably had the finest performance of his career, guiding Optic Texas to the Major 1 title.
The work we've been putting in has shown, and this is only the beginning. We're going to keep going hard every single day. We're not going to get complacent.
Hell yeah.
And we're doing it all year.
iLLeY was at peak performance levels. The grind, the talent, it was all paying off. But unfortunately, everything was about to come crumbling down.
During Major 2, like, my thumb was like hurting like a bit, and I just thought like, oh yeah, it's just like for me, like just grinding is not a big deal, like probably just sore. Just like afterwards, like when I came back here, like there was just like a really big like just like a bump.
Following Major 2, iLLeY had sustained a thumb injury, which forced him out of action indefinitely.
It's an infected cyst. I was getting so much like pain there, and how could I focus on the game, you know?
This was a terrible moment in his career and prevented him from doing the one thing he knows best. Few people have the same enthusiasm for COD as iLLeY does, and regrettably, this might have caused him greater harm. While iLLeY was away from the team, rumours emerged that he was continuing to play Call of Duty on another account, a ringer, against the guidance of his doctor, and potentially without his team or coach Rambo knowing.
Are they starting the game?
I'm gonna go top third. I'm gonna like.
That's iLLeY! It is iLLeY, bro!
Wait. Go back.
However, during the 3rd tournament of the season, iLLeY declared he had healed from his injuries. But just a few series later, the pain was back, and substitute General had to step in to take over.
Yeah, it's stiff and it hurts.
Sorry to beat around the dead bush that's been dead for a couple weeks now, but Ender will not be able to compete for the foreseeable short-term future. Obviously, we don't want him to be in a position where it's going to keep happening, so he's going to take some time off.
Without iLLeY, Optic settled on a new pickup in Prolute, and despite the team's impressive performance in the online qualifiers, Prolute's lack of LAN experience kept them from causing trouble when it mattered the most. But with iLLeY's thumb injury supposedly healed yet again, he was back in the team just in time for the World Championship. But in their match against the Los Angeles Thieves, misfortune struck again.
We played Thieves. Ender was like talking to me and he was like, yo, my thumb is still bothering me really badly. I can't aim to the left. I mean, if you can't aim left, you know, that's half of the gunfights that you're going to be in. And he said that every time that it happened, it would feel like it was just really strained and really tight.
With his thumb still causing problems, iLLeY was compelled to play against the Thieves with pain, and unfortunately had some pretty poor stats, and the team got slammed out 3-0. A few series later, Optic was eliminated from the competition by the Seattle Surge. After such a promising start to the year, what might have happened had iLLeY been healthy would go down as one of the biggest what-ifs of the CDL era. Heading into 2023, many still believed iLLeY to be a liability, despite the belief that his thumb had healed during the off-season, and he was officially dropped from the roster for a couple of days, before Optic bit the bullet and ran it back with the same team.
We didn't really give ourselves a fair chance. Run it back one more year and see what we can do. That's how I genuinely think about it.
This ultimately proved to be the wrong decision. Optic Texas placed an embarrassing 12th place at the first event of the year, and things only continued to spiral out of control. Dashi was benched for Hook, and Scump retired, just when Optic started to build momentum. But the final dagger came at Major 2, where iLLeY went 18-32 in a crucial map against the Los Angeles Thieves. Despite jumping from top 12 to top 4, Optic felt they had no choice to cut ties with iLLeY once and for all.
It felt like things were clicking. Was it just sort of a realization of, I don't know, is this roster just not going to work?
I guess you could say that. It was kind of a show, you could say.
I think it was just one of those needed moves for everyone to move on.
There were some rumours circulating at the time that there was more to this decision than just performance issues.
Ender actually just got me tight. Guy just awoken from his absolute slumber, not popping any beans for 3 months. Now he just twisted out of his mind. Absolute drug it. Absolute drug it.
I'm going to call it now. I don't think iLLeY's coming back.
After 3 seasons on Optic, iLLeY was desperate for a fresh start. Fortunately for him, he was able to continue on the Seattle Surge without the inconvenience of the thumb injury.
How's the injury doing? How's the thumb doing?
Oh, it's perfect. It's fantastic. You know, like I'm beaming. You'll be able to see. More people will be able to see this year too. Like kid's back, like 100%.
This was iLLeY's opportunity to show everybody how good he could play without anything holding him back, and being set up as the star of the team. And iLLeY demonstrated this perfectly.
Bro, and welcome back, iLLeY. Good Lord, it is nice to see this kid play.
Such a long break. What was that like, man? Because you were so silent throughout that time as well.
Honestly, I was just chilling, to be honest. Like, I decided, like, whatever, like, I'm, like, gonna take, like, the season off and just chill. And, yeah, I was just chilling. I was just focusing on myself, you know? Just getting ready for next year. Like, yeah.
This form carried over to Major 1, where he made numerous plays all weekend.
20 seconds to go, and iLLeY hops out, wins his one.
Also, shout out iLLeY, man. iLLeY played great.
A top 6 performance was commendable, and it provided the squad with plenty of momentum heading into the following major in Miami. But iLLeY was not going to be present. On the 9th of February 2024, iLLeY was replaced in the starting lineup by Brezzy. The reasons were undisclosed by the Seattle Surge, and the team themselves never announced that iLLeY was actually departing, leading many of the community to understandably become rather suspicious. Specifically, a post-game interview at Major 1 in Boston.
Start playing tighter towards, like, well, like, that doesn't matter, but, like, yeah, we got the piece P4, we got the castle row, and yeah, we just believed, and then we ended up breaking P1. Yeah, you know how it went. Yeah.
Some called out iLLeY for acting strangely, especially in comparison to previous interviews earlier in his career.
Stay safe, keep grinding. You're here to hear first. All right.
Not vibes, but like, yeah, just like, yeah, do it right, yeah. Bro, Ender's tweet, bro.
All right, bet.
iLLeY was one of the best players throughout Stage 1, with the 13th best Slayer rating in the league.
It can't be gameplay related, and that's how I see it. Ender is literally their best player by far. He actually is pretty good at this game. I'll give him that.
Despite this, the analyst desk from the CDL side did not seem as surprised as arguably they could have been, leading to even further suspicion.
What was iLLeY's role on the team? Who needs to step up now to take over that position?
Yeah, well, I would say that, like, he's not coming in trying to exactly fill iLLeY's shoes. iLLeY was taking over, making some big plays in the respawns, but it wasn't exactly leading to a lot of respawn success. So
the community has been forced to guess on the explanation. Many fans recall Hook's video from 2021, also while teaming with iLLeY, admitting to using Adderall during his career.
Regardless of the accusations currently against Ender, you might as well accuse 80% of the league for the exact same shit.
This led many fans to believe that the CDL will always remain mute on issues relating to substance misuse, for fear of public relations repercussions. Given iLLeY still remains a part of Seattle Surge based on his Twitter profile, the most popular theory today is that of an undisclosed league-mandated suspension for an unknown period of time, to potentially sweep the issue under the rug. Whatever the explanation, his return is often discussed.
Yeah, but I am curious to see if Ender does fall on a team at some point.
He has to.
I mean, we saw what happened with Seattle. I mean, they have not been the same team, so who knows? Maybe someone picks him up.
I heard a rumor that iLLeY might be coming back into this roster. I have heard that behind the scenes. I have heard iLLeY maybe coming back in.
iLLeY was hailed as the next big thing in Call of Duty when he was only 14 years of age. But his full potential is yet to be realised, and his career has been marred by off-the-field incidents. It remains to be seen whether iLLeY will ever fulfill his potential.